A little rundown on pegs I'd fancy on the Evesham weekend. Peg 1, it's a bream peg, but not this time of year, where you're going to be looking at roach, perch, hybrids possibly. It's a 4 to 8 pound peg. Again, seed fish, perch on the inside, and possibly waggler as well. So that'll be a good draw. I quite fancy peg 1. Peg 2 is another peg I fancy. It's one of my favourite pegs. Again, no bream on it at the moment on Clear River. Waggler, pole, and perch on the inside. Again, that can be a 4 to 8 pound peg. It's framed nearly every match, as has peg 1 so far this season. Then we move down to pegs 6, 5, 6, 7, which I do fancy them pegs. Peg 7's framed nearly every single match again this season. I've only drew peg 6 once this season, which I had £9 off chub. Unfortunately, the angler blow didn't catch, he didn't weigh in. So, but peg 6 is the favoured peg, but 7's the one being catching the fish. That's out and out waggler, and also pole for roach on seed. And then we move down to pegs 14, 15 I'd fancy, where there's always a chance of a barbel. Methods on barbel, possibly feeder and maggot, pellet, if you're into the pellet, and they can be caught on worm. Or do what Tom done on peg 9 last year and cost me a few quid when he won the Witch Haven. He had his on the meat. And there has been 7 or 8 barbel caught this season. In fact, Sonia Evan had one last Sunday, nearly £10 off peg 13. So there are barbel all in that area, and they are good MC pegs as well. And then we move down to pegs 29, 30. Which are predominantly roach pegs. You can have the odd chub there, but they're only small, between 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 10 ounce fish. But the roach are big there when you can get them on the seed, when they decide to have a go. Then we move down to the Eastbourne, 35, 36, well, they are absolute flyers any time of the year. Fishing badly, they're good for £4, £5 when they're fishing bad. Which I could think you could possibly win this year with a weight of £6 or £7 on the Saturday or Sunday. So they're fabulous pegs, out and out waggler, front to back. There is some perch on them. Then we move down to my next favoured peg, which would be 52. That's been thrown up nearly every match for the last 4 weeks now, which is a waggler on far bank in the dead water. Problem is with that peg, it's heavy downstream wind. You cannot hold the waggler over there, it pulls it straight out of the bay where the fish are, so the bait doesn't look natural. And it's so shallow you can't chuck a little lead over because the fish are lay on top of pandocks. So a lot would do with the conditions if you draw 52. And the next peg I fancy, sadly, is the end peg, 87, which you can catch perch on the inside, chub shallow possibly, and if there's a little bit of colour in it, you can do a big weight of hybrids. I've caught £24 of hybrids on pole on that peg. I want to match on. But if there's a lot of rain, that will bring the bream into contention. We're stood on peg 69 filming this at the moment, and I won the Sherwood off this about 3 years ago with £28. But if it is coloured, you'll be looking at pegs 1, 2, 14, 15 possibly for bream, and anywhere in the ferry meadow between 64 and 74. It will be a completely different ball game. If there's 6 inch to a foot of water on it, you will see some absolute fabulous weights, and you'll need double figures to frame. Again, a lot of anglers we'll have trouble with snags. There's a ferry meadow who's renowned for its snags. The town is pretty good for snags, but the ferry meadow, you need to avoid all the snaggy areas, naturally, which I know. 68 there's a bad snag on, 74 there's bad snags on the middle of the river, 63 is a very snaggy peg too. So them are the pegs that you need to watch out for.